Welcome back to Night Mind, friends. Thanks for joining me in the dark again this evening. Tonight we'll be continuing the story of Everyman Hybrid. Last time, we left our friend Jeff reeling with grief and anger after a congratulations video to a fan only served to remind him of the painful loss of his girlfriend, Jessa. This came on the heels of his round with police officers blaming the last person to see Jessa alive, a girl with a troubled past running a blog called Can You See the Words, who viewers had affectionately named DAMSEL. Jeff's actions caused DAMSEL to be detained by the authorities, though not officially arrested, and even though he did get results, Jeff is still unhappy. Nothing has changed. Not just his status as a missing person, not the case for leads on her kidnapper or murderer, and certainly not the otherworldly being that seems to keep stalking Jeff and his friends. Returning to the EMH camp, we can see Jeff was right. Nothing really has changed. At least a full week goes by with no activity since the congratulations video with added footage that can't be explained. The next video is a return to the EMH channel on October 23rd with the title, ASHEN Waste. Vinny opens the video talking about how they alerted the police to the dead body from the last location they investigated, but the cops didn't find anything. The crew tried to submit the note they found in the corpse's hand as evidence, but weren't allowed and were warned against crying wolf again. Vinny reads the note for us.
First off, the name is smeared out with what looks like blood. I'm heading east. You wouldn't believe it. Someone else knows about the doctor. Bless his soul, it will be such a relief to finally figure out what happened to him those few years ago. Spent last night in the Logan Inn. Tomorrow I'm heading into New Jersey to finally contact this group. They show a lot of promise. I'll find you and the others, if they can finally help us. Stay safe, we'll make it out. Linny. And then at the bottom it looks like they gave us, seems to be more coordinates, this time in a different... See that? I think this time we might actually go check it out, but we're not going to get to it for a while. So if anyone out there is nearby and wants to check it out, be our guest, man.
Next, Vinny notes that viewers have helped the search by alerting them to the scene of a fire near Brooklyn that an online article described as a land of ash and waste. They decide to get to the spot, but while investigating, discovered Slender Man stalking them. Evan takes a bat he found nearby and goes after him. The camera cuts, and next we see Slenderman is gone with Evan laying on the ground, blood dripping from his mouth. Jeff and Vinny take him to the car, and Evan has a moment coughing up blood along the way.
Let's get back to the car. It's all over. We gotta get Evan, we're gonna bring you to a doctor. Hold on. I should have my knife. Dude, Vin, dude, start calling 911, dude. What time is it? We're gonna have to give him a report.
Around 1. You're gonna be alright, just hold on.
Night falls fast and they're still driving, trying to find out where to take Evan for treatment when Slender Man appears in the distance on the road. Vinny puts the pedal to the floor and charges him, but on impact, everything cuts to black and the crew wakes up in Evan's basement. Vinny is on the floor with Evan, who no longer has blood on him, and Jeff walks in from another room. On Twitter, he confirms everyone is okay. Thank you for all the concern about us, particularly Evan. The strangest part of our recent trip, though? We're fine. Evan's fine. We took him to a hospital, easily this time, and was clean of any external blood to begin with after we woke. We don't know what happened. The Maxima's fine. Well, as fine as a 1995 could be, and there wasn't any sign of damage. But I know we hit him. I felt the collision. I heard bones shatter. Maybe it was our own, but again, we're confused, but okay. We were toyed with. These sites, he wants us there, but they're not leading us to find her. I'm done playing. Stay safe, hybrids. The next day, another video from a channel outside the usual accounts. Married viewers of the series and members of the Unfiction forums, Flying Warhorse, followed the coordinates found on the body note Vinny showed in the beginning of Ashen Waste. There, they discovered a package wrapped in purple duct tape, a hollow book. Inside is an EMH business card with a quote on the back, "Feed the habit," and another quote on paper marked 3 out of 7.
There is no veiling your perception as anything more than an illusion.
In addition to this are more burned pictures, including one of Jeff severely burned away from Jessa. Another picture has all 3 of the guys seated on a couch with the words written all over it. Evan has a smile drawn on while Jeff's face is covered and Vinny and Evan are blinded. None of them can see the words. A picture of Vinny has his face scribbled out in a hole burnt through his chest. But what really matters inside this box is a letter from Fairmount Children's Home in Ohio, dated November 17, 1971, and signed by Dr. James Corenthal, mentioning a patient named Evan who insisted upon being called Habit. These are the infamous medical documents Jeff found in his old, burned-out elementary school, which led him to ask the old woman from apartment 222 about the doctor. Dr. Corenthal is writing to his associate, Dr. Roberts, about Evan's condition in regards to inquiries about whether or not to discharge him from the group home. The letter begins, "As our team has observed over the course of the last year, the condition of one of our youngest patients, Evan, has proven to be quite interesting indeed. I pray that you recall the early stages of our unique treatment process involving the boy." The boy refused to respond to his given name and only reacted to the nickname his birth mother gave him, Habit. Though I've tried on many occasions, the actual source of his name is a story impossible to extract. The boy merely smiles and continues his activities whenever these queries arise. The doctor then applauds his peers' suggestions for Evan to keep a picture diary after attempts to let him make a journal led to a ban on access to writing implements. Apparently, Evan, aka Habit, was prone to violent outbursts when given sharp tools. Dr. Corenthal states, "How can anyone forget the first 2 weeks of his stay, when a nurse brought his lunch into his room and proceeded to be brutally stabbed with a plastic fork a good 3 dozen times until a security officer happened to walk past, noticing the young boy kneeling over the body of the new nurse, laughing and in a dazed state, covered in the gored bits of her flesh. In all my years of practice, I have never seen a utensil buried so deep into a human body." Originally, the lines about a brutal stabbing and her flesh were removed with permanent marker, but the user who found the document recovered those lines through close inspection. Apparently, Evan's condition improved over the following 4 months, which brought about the question of his release with medical probation. That suggestion was 8 months prior to the writing of the letter, which means it's been a full year since his admission to Fairmount Children's Home. The doctor notes that Evan, also known as Habit, definitely has shown improvement, but the nurse he attacked died as a result of her wounds. And it wasn't the last incident like this either. There was one time when the staff discovered Evan had found a warren of rabbits in the community yard and slaughtered them, using the bodies to recreate the scene of Jesus Christ's crucifixion. It's noted that releasing this child into an unforgiving and free environment would only lead to a terrible, terrible relapse of his homicidal tendencies. And there's one more disturbing anecdote that Dr. James Corenthal has to share. "On a personal note, Dr. Roberts, I have become slightly conscious of my own mental and medical necessities. Sleep is becoming quite the delicacy in my life, and when I can find that unadulterated blink, all I hear is the same damned repeating verse, rabbit or habit. Again, I pray you reconsider your confirmation of release." Finally, the box wrapped in purple duct tape contained a coded message on a scrap of paper. When broken down, it read, "The good doctor is not so lucky as to be dead, just dealing with some old habits." Flying Warhorse shared their findings with the Everyman Hybrid community and received a form of attention no one expected. 2 tweets in all capital letters on the Everyman Hybrid Twitter account that appeared with none of the crew's signatures then disappeared moments later. "Habit sees you. We are unbreakable. Habit has bit. Habit has bit me. Habit has me. Habit has you." On October 27th, a user tweeted to the EMH crew that they should probably go visit DAMSEL to make amends for their actions. The all capitals user answered back saying, "Your front door's unlocked. How courteous. Who are you and why are you stalking them? You still believe this is merely their story? You assume a granted refuge? No such sanctuary exists." The next day, video activity picks up on Alex's front. He says he came home to find a trail of shredded paper leading from Jeff's bedroom to his own closet where an EMH business card sat. Written on the back was a set of coordinates and a one-word question. Continue? Jeff confirms on Twitter that he's had some bad luck. "The papers are gone. All of them. All that's left are a few shreds. There are worse things that could have been taken or ruined. Damn rodents and their paper-induced tendencies." It seems that Jeff's documents were copies of what was found in Box 3 and they've been destroyed, leaving the real documents in someone else's hands. On October 30th, Jeff expresses the mindset he's in with a single picture of himself and Jessa from the events of a day in the life. With no warning, the mystery user comes back with a reply. "You couldn't save her. Do they think they are any different? You are all in the same sinking vessel." The events of October 30th didn't end there. A user on the Unfiction forums followed the coordinates from Alex's video and found a blue gym bag sealed with purple duct tape. Inside is an unopened bottle of Powerade, a padded shipping envelope with bloodstains addressed to Linny and also sealed with purple tape, and on the back, a note. "Find them. Everyman Hybrid." Inside the envelope are a few documents. The first, a note. "Linny, I hope this letter reaches you before you reach that group. Someone sent me this letter. This worries me. Please contact me before you talk to them. The letter's attached. William." The letter William sent is yet another document from Fairmount Children's Home signed by Dr. James Corenthal, dated May 11, 1971. The subject of this letter? A patient named Vincent. Dr. Corenthal is again writing to his associate, Dr. Roberts, declining the admission of the patient Vincent to a new unit. I am speaking of the conflicting accommodations regarding the two children, Vincent and Evan, from the mining town. Due to the recent departure of Dr. Stevens, I am urging you to reconsider the admission of the boy Vincent. As you know, Stevens was a part of the post-traumatic sexual deviation concentration, and we are now lacking in such fields. Dr. Corenthal then adds a brief section of Vincent's admission transcript detailing his experience with a man named Reverend Green. It's implied through Vincent's dialogue that Reverend Green used an adopted dog to lure Vincent and other children to his home. As Vincent describes it, "We watched the puppy scurry around the small patio and yard for a while when the Reverend told me that he had a great game we could play. You know I love games, Doctor, so of course I was excited. He asked me if I'd ever played pirates. I was so happy I began telling him stories about me and Captain Habit. He lit a small candle and told us that we were going to explore a hidden cove." Dr. Corenthal then reminds his associate, Dr. Roberts, about how he knows the way the story continues from that point, and he can review Vincent's case file for further details. But visits to the Reverend continued for almost a full year after the initial Pirates game incident. What brought Vincent into the ward, however, was a discovery his parents made in picking him up one evening from the home. Vinny was found in the living room on the floor playing with a foam pirate ship. In the other room, Reverend Green was found eviscerated. When his parents went to call an ambulance, he stopped playing and said, "Father, I would make sure it was okay with man before we did that. He is very, very greedy." Apparently, the Reverend didn't know that man doesn't share. Dr. Corenthal states that lack of staffing in the sexual abuse ward disallows them from accepting Vincent into the home. "We are dealing with much more stress and trauma than we are currently outfitted for. Obviously, the investigation is continuing, but I do not believe that it is very wise at all to accept both patients from that town of Ash." On November 1st, a post from DAMSEL appears on Can You See the Words that no one saw coming. If you are reading this, then the queue function through the website finally kicked the post through. I gave myself some time to delay this message, just in case. Who knows? Maybe they would have let me come home without further incident. Since you are reading this, that is obviously not the case. We all know that I do not have many friends here in Jersey. The one person who is outwardly friendly towards me ended up missing, and I feel absolutely terrible. But I honestly do not believe that I did anything to warrant responsibility for Jesselyn's disappearance. If anything, I have been trying to help, but justice did not prevail. Maybe it's better this way, behind bars, more or less. I no longer have to worry about choosing whether or not to take my medicine. They said they'll make me take it there. I thought I was doing a lot better without it, honestly, but I'm not the doctor. DAMSEL goes on to describe how her only friend in New Jersey is gone and her entire family is dead. As upset as she is, she forgives Jeff because she understands why he convicted her. I love Jesselyn too. I know what he was trying to do. There was no way for him to know if I was being honest or not, especially considering the gravity of the lie that was born when I told you all the story of my family and my journey up here. DAMSEL admits that the location was true, her education was true, and so was her family's death. But she didn't come home to find the house was burnt to the ground. It was still standing. When she stepped inside, she felt something wrong in the air. The house was silent. No sound from my siblings, no familiar clicking of my mother tending in the kitchen, no sound of shuffling from desk to shelf in my father's study. And then I saw the bags. Through the large sliding glass door, I saw them all, each strung from the old ash tree in the center of the backyard. I opened each one. I just had to be sure. You would understand. I was covered in a bit more and more of my family with each inquiry. I took the open bags and went upstairs into my parents' master bedroom and laid down on the gigantic bed. I placed each of the bags around me, resting one last time with my family. The bags that still held their contents bulged towards me in a comforting embrace. I saw myself in the mirror. Perhaps my body was still in shock because I wasn't crying. Not yet. I was drenched in the blood of my siblings and parents, and I couldn't feel anything. I knew he did this to me, the one I'd been seeing in my dreams since I was a baby. He wanted me out of the house. I don't know why, but he willed me elsewhere. I burned my house. I set the fire. I don't care who knows anymore, because by this time, I'm sure they would have coerced this confession from me. By this time, I will have been accurately proven guilty, 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 guilty. I was alone and he told me to go north. There wasn't any time for mourning. Hell, another plus of being institutionalized. I have all the time I want to cry now, and he can't touch me. I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm sorry, Vincent. I'm sorry, Evan. Most of all, I'm sorry, Jesselyn. I'm sorry, hybrids. I brought this upon myself. Maybe we'll speak again someday. Probably not. Don't follow my footsteps. Be not like me. I am alone. On November 4th, a new video surfaces from the Everyman Hybrid channel titled Centralia. They've discovered a town named Centralia in Pennsylvania where a major mine fire occurred in 1962 beneath the town, causing dangerous carbon monoxide, smoke, and other toxins to flow above ground. It's now a ghost town due to evacuation and has been abandoned for years. The mining tunnel fires are still burning and the toxins continue to escape to this day. The guys follow a cracked road where smoke still flows from holes in the pavement and find an area of dirt and dead trees. Jeff suddenly takes off, and as Evan and Vinny follow him, we see cuts of Jeff running from a day in the life. When they catch up to him, we get another split clip. Jeff and Jessa seemingly from a day in the life, but again wearing different clothes than they had on that day. Jeff is revealed to be holding Jessa's necklace. He just found it here. We're shown a spy clip of Jeff and Jess on the couch sharing a moment, then back in the present, Jeff announces it's all Damsel's fault and she's insane. She set this up. We're then shown a clip of Jeff with the clothes and backpack we just saw popping a garbage bag full of blood, and you can hear Evan laughing in the background while Jessa murmurs in disbelief. Evan takes the camera while Jeff grieves and announces they've got no choice. They have to kill it, whatever it is. This is cut with an image of Evan on the ground in the dark as a flashlight hovers over him. Then an ending piece of Vinny and Evan running to the solitary tree in a field from a day in the life. The day closes with a tweet from Jeff at 11:39 p.m. Just got home. 3 hours in the car with the crew. No words. I'm so sorry, Jesselyn. But as they were out, an anonymous user broke into the Twitter account again and the all-capital letter user replied back. Because those tweets disappeared moments after appearing, there's no screenshot, but the record exists of what they wrote. The first tweet is in standard writing and grammar. Take solace in the rain, my children. It only means I'm near. The all-capitals user came back with the reply, disregard the banter. Oh, how pleasant it is to be torn. It is I who inhabits this sanctuary. Oh, a classic power struggle, is it? I urge you to leave. They are already mine. Good luck. These tweets go unnoticed by the Everyman crew. The next post comes on the following morning, a quote from Jeff during one of their live streams. Jess is kind of weird and I love her for it. I think I'm going to give her this. We then get two back-to-back videos from Alex. The first with him entering the bathroom and cleaning what looks like a vicious animal wound, and the second explaining that he uploaded the first as soon as it was made, trying to have evidence of what happened if he didn't make it. He's alright now, but won't be telling anyone about what happened. It was something ghastly white at the foot of his bed, but it was gone when he came back. On November 9th, a user from the Unfiction forums who submitted their email and home address to the Everyman Hybrid Promotions contest to receive a purple bracelet gets a strange letter. Another Corinthal document dated October 27, 1981, a full 10 years after the initial letters from Fairmount Children's Home. The last child from the mining town 4 has finally succumbed. I have absolutely failed these children as a doctor and as their protector. My old partner Roberts has been trying to reassure me of myself, of the nature of my job. He tries to reason that it is out of my control. I chose the cases that generally stood no chance to begin with, and that I must not take it out on myself when failure inevitably arrived. My other current patient, the girl from the horrible New York attacks, she's on emotional life support as well at present. We were a family. Evan, Vincent, Jeffrey, and a fourth name that's been removed from the document. The doctor goes on to describe how Linny's in danger and she's different from the others. Her personal demon is much more feral in comparison. The other professionals insisted that they were criminals of their own thought. Homicidal children? Not these angels. I was the only one who was willing to hear their pleas and I let them down. They were my own children, simply not biologically. I refuse to let my remaining daughter become another Tally. I cannot explain the creatures behind my children's misery, but I have a few theories. Maybe I'll peruse little Evan's picture diary, but the good Lord knows that I can barely bring myself to catch a glimpse of his camera, which never fit comfortably in his meek hands. I'm going to take Linny east. We cannot stay in Ohio any longer. We'll find others who know. She'll live a good life without me. She'll grow up, She'll forget me, the others. It's for the best." He finishes the journal entry saying that he has to find those old photographs. Jeffrey was much more of a writer, while Vincent and the child whose name had been redacted were more so visual young artists. "I must retrieve my old trunk with their treasures in it soon." And now we can begin to piece together a story. Sometime between 1971 and 1981, Dr. James Corenthal adopted 4 patients from the troubled children's home he worked at in Ohio. These patients were known as the Mining Town 4, and though we don't know the name of the 4th child, the names of the first 3 were Evan, Vincent, and Jeffrey, the same names as our Everyman Hybrid crew. In 1981, the last of the 4 children succumbed to an unknown illness, leaving the doctor with his remaining adopted child Linny from New York, who began to have her own fierce problems. The doctor then seemed to decide that keeping Linny with him was no longer a suitable option and would find a good home for her outside Ohio. Bear in mind that the first of these documents concerning Evan were left on purpose in Jeff's old burned-down elementary school by whoever sent him the postcard detailing a land of ash and waste as a clue. When they finally find the land of ash and waste, it turns out to be Centralia, Pennsylvania. Centralia is an old mining town that's been abandoned for decades after a massive fire broke out underground in the mines, destroyed the natural foundation of the area, and allowed smoke and debris from the fires to rise above ground. Do you see the reflection occurring here? Vinny, Evan, and Jeffrey find the land of ash and waste in a mining town, and the documents signed by Dr. James Corenthal let us know that in the 70s, he adopted 4 children from a mining town, 3 of which were named Vinny, Evan, and Jeffrey. He had even described this mining town as a town of ash. The same person who led them here has also been handing out the Corenthal documents that include their names and the names of these mysterious children. And on the letter from 1981, there was an extra piece of information repeated several times: the Roman numeral for 7 written all over the document. On the day this letter was made public to the Unfiction forums, the all capitals user on the Everyman Hybrid Twitter spoke up. "In a world of such uncertainty, there is one truth we can cling to. We shall all join the doctor inevitably. You too shall drown." And at the end of the tweet, they included the Roman numeral for the number 7. The person who sent Jeff the Land of Ash and Waste postcard and sent Corenthal documents to users in boxes and envelopes marked by purple duct tape is the one hijacking the Everyman Hybrid Twitter account. On November 12th, we get yet another surprise: a Morse code video with a title for the letter H.
Recording.
Find what?
What do you guys find?
And then,
Oh, nice. We'll move this over to the side.
yeah, let's just hold it up. We're gonna close it in a minute.
How many things do you think like died down there? I'm doing this. I want to. I don't like this.
Let's go.
How is it? Alex?
That song, Who Could Win a Rabbit, has made its comeback, and the theme of rabbits is now showing through. Sing along, rabbits, followed by footage of a rabbit hopping across a field. We've got a clip of Evan walking around at night, and Vinny holds the camera, his breath getting heavier as Evan comes closer. And once again, clips from videos we've already seen are spliced into the mess, but there's also an appearance by Damsel, standing in the corner of a hallway as the lights flicker. The pink hat she's wearing has appeared before on her blog, but now she's showing up on the EMH channel. The following day, another phantom tweet appears on the EMH Twitter from the capital letters user, Tilt. Followers soon realized it was a clue to be used on Can You See the Words, where a phrase now hidden in the background becomes clearer by tilting a laptop screen. This is no longer their game. Consider yourself marked. On November 18th, a video appears on the EMH channel titled Alex. Evan says he received an anonymous USB drive in the mail, and after his sister helped him access it, he found a clip of the night Alex was attacked by whatever's in his room. Immediately, Evan notices something isn't right here. The footage appears to be from the vantage point of a security camera in Jeff and Alex's house, as well as from a perspective on the floor. But even stranger, which Evan fails to talk about, is how Alex leaves his room wearing a set of completely gray pajamas, then leaves wearing an entirely different pair. We know from the video he posted entering the bathroom he was already wearing what he came in with. Alex also has a bandage on his arm already while leaving the bedroom. So what exactly is going on here? When the second clip plays of him wearing different clothes, we see the crucial detail that lets us know. The clip of Alex leaving this room in the black and green pajamas show that he's leaving his bedroom, not his bathroom. You'll see in a moment from the rest of Evan's video that this is how Alex's bedroom looks, but even without seeing an up-close comparison from another Alex video in his room, we know this isn't the bathroom by comparing it to the first clip of his wounds. The truth in this footage is that Alex has been attacked on at least 2 separate nights, and the existence of a bandage on his arm from the first clip shows it may have been as many as 3 by the time Evan got this footage. Evan goes over to Alex and Jeff's house and visits with Alex, who admits he's been attacked by something and shows the bandages.
Alright. Now, first of all, I have to tell you that me, your brother, Vinny, we've been attacked by something as well. Not that bad, although it fucked me up pretty bad. So I want to tell you that if you're experiencing the same kind of things, I mean, we understand.
No, it's nothing like Slender Man. It's that? Man, it's not. It's not human. It has these terrible black eyes, scars, crawls like some type of animal. Just
Crawls like some type of animal. Is it bald looking?
no hair.
No hair, gotcha.
Sound familiar? It's the same thing Vinny and Jeff saw at the first burned out location they visited following the postcard where a dead girl was found with the same kind of wounds Alex has on her wrist. Evan learns that Alex has been hiding this from Jeff and it's time to have an intervention. He leads Alex to Jeff's room where they tell him what they spotted in the burned out school in Lambertville has been attacking his brother.
Where is it?
Oh, I don't... Where is it? How does it get into your room?
The closet.
The closet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you had all that shit in front of the closet?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus, dude. Well, did you ever think to look in there?
I don't think it's.
I know
there.
you guys have a cross. What the fuck?
This is what it does.
Whoa. All right. Hold on. Settle down. Grab the camera.
Wait a minute.
Whatever it is, it has to still be in here. That door didn't open, nor did it close.
Alex, how long has this been going on, man?
Weeks.
Give me the flashlight.
Do we have to drive you? You want me to drive you to the hospital or something?
I think this is Vinny's phone. The crawl space in there, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. I don't see anything. Yeah, it should be. Holy shit!
Evan, are you okay?
Yes.
I'm just fucking with you. Here you go. There's nothing in there, but listen. Just to be safe, let's definitely get some stuff in front of it. Like maybe close the closet. Alright, well, I should hold it at least for a very short while.
What do you guys think about Benny?
I'll give him a call.
I don't know, I haven't talked to that. Wait.
You're gonna what?
Call.
Oh no, that's a good idea.
Your phone's ringing.
After this event, it seems that too much has been happening recently for the EMH crew to continue on without a break. We took Evan to Baldpate Mountain for a day to relax way back when. Now we share the day with you, hybrids. They include a picture with the full details on where and when to meet them, and it seems that someone does take them up on their offer. Green Feathers, the same viewer who followed the first set of coordinates and found box number 1. Video of the day out is posted on November 22nd, and it resembles the events of a day in the life pretty well in that nothing much happens. For once, there seems to be peace and nothing to concern themselves over on film. They reflect on their day while driving home, and Vinny gets a call from Ryan, their friend from the original hangout during a day in the life.
Ryan?
Go figure. Yeah. Oh, Ryan was
Ryan,
actually...
slow down. Hello? You need to slow down when you're...
What happened? Is everything alright? What happened, bro? Benny?
I think Ryan just got in the car accident.
Oh, shit.
I heard those noises.
What noises?
In all seriousness though, we've been trying to contact Ryan's family. He didn't deserve that, and I know he never drove carelessly. We're all just waiting for details. Send some thoughts and vibrations to Ryan and his family, hybrids. Word finally comes down about Ryan, and the group ends up on the side of the road where gifts have been placed and candles lit. After receiving Ryan's call, Jeff tried to get in contact with his family for hours and finally caught his mother on the phone. Ryan had been badly hurt in a car accident. So badly hurt, in fact, that his mother was requested to go ID the body. Not wanting to go alone, she asked Jeff if he could accompany her. Upon inspecting the body to confirm Ryan's identity, Jeff noticed his wounds just weren't consistent with a normal high-speed ejection, as the officer explained. Ryan had several deep cuts on his body, scraped areas from road rash, and there was more glass on the inside of his car than the outside. The final conclusion from the guys, as Evan puts it, is that something pulled Ryan out of the car after he crashed. What's worse is what Vinny has to add. They'd been planning to hang out with Ryan after the fan meetup, and during that morning, he sent them an email Vinny didn't notice until after the accident.
Guys, I got an email from this account a few weeks ago. I thought it was one of my friends messing around with me, so I filled out one of his applications. He wanted me to send this ridiculous information and answer weird questions, so I played along for a bit. His next task was for a pint of my blood. I laughed it off at first, but he refused to answer me when I was asking who he was. He only reminded me of his rule, that is, no seeking outside help. I was really freaked out and thought of you guys. No one else would understand something creepy like this or even believe it. So if I figure anything out, I'll be in touch. I'll drive you up some information he sent to me the other day. I'll see you later today. Ryan.
Jeff puts a link in the description to a screen cap of the email Ryan forwarded to them.
Hello, Rabbit. I offer you a place in a tournament of sorts. A unique contest created just for you and all of your expendable co-conspirators. The only thing I ask of you, be completely open with me. Do not fuck with me. And do not seek any outside help. Name, age, gender, earliest nightmare, shoe size, hair color, BMI, preferred blood type, what you cherish the most, what you hate the most. There will be 7 trials and 3 preliminary rounds culminating in the grand finale. See you there, rabbits. Yours.
In order to better understand what happened to Ryan, the guys also all register as rabbits number 2, 3, and 4. Jeff explains he doesn't want his brother Alex to join until they know what this is, and mentions that their friend Daniel was the one who held the camera for this video. So, according to the information from this video, a few weeks before the Sunday Hybrids meetup on November 21st, Ryan received the email that addressed him as a rabbit and invited him to a tournament asking for odd information and listing only 3 rules. Tell no lies to the sender, do not anger them, and do not seek any outside help. Ryan entered the contest and kept going until he was asked for a pint of blood. After asking who this person was, they only replied back reminding him to not seek any outside help. The morning of the Sunday meetup, Ryan emailed the Hybrid crew about this and said he'd be bringing more information to them that night. Hours after he sent that message, he died in a car crash under highly suspicious circumstances, and whatever had caused him to panic made him choose to contact the EMH guys first for help. Call it bad luck if you'd like, but Ryan's death occurring right after breaking the rule about not seeking outside help seems a little too much like cause and effect to dismiss as coincidence. This video has an additional surprise for viewers. Once again, footage the hybrid crew doesn't seem to have included themselves plays in spliced intervals throughout the roadside memorial. For your convenience, here's the entire sequence of clips back to back.
You really think that you're the boss? You really think you just tell all of us what to do and that we'll do it? Well, they might be. But me, not so much, Chuckles. I know. Oh, I know you're powerful. I know you're a big, strong man. But you gotta remember who brought you these little fish. You gotta remember that whatever I want, I get. Whatever I want. If I want their fucking blood, then I will take it. There ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. You may scare Evan, but he's just a bitch. Not me. I will fuck you up the next chance I get. Now, let's talk about these little fishes.
Evan?
Yeah? Jeff?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man. How you doing? I didn't see you there. I was just talking out loud.
This much is clear. Evan is not okay. From the first glimpse of him sitting at the kitchen table in the dark to walking around with purple duct tape over his mouth, and his moment sprinting past Damsel and Jessa without their knowledge, we've known something was up with him. But now this confirms he is not alright. Not at all. We don't know when this footage was taken, but it exists and it's been placed into the ordinary video for a reason. On November 24th, the Everyman Hybrid Twitter experiences another phantom message. Great to see the enthusiasm, but some of you fools have not properly applied. Again, this has gone without a trace minutes later, leaving the next bit of legitimate EMH posting for the next day on Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, hybrids, regardless of the messed up happenings of late. Thanks for sticking with us through it all. 3 hours later, another phantom message in response. Even someone as busy as me needs a holiday. Enjoy your family while you still can, rabbits. Please, tell them what you've been up to. And then 4 hours later, making me travel on a holiday? Seriously. Rabbits 131 to 153 have been eliminated. Do not fuck with me. That is all. If you have sent in an application, you will be processed. Otherwise, you'll have to wait your turn. No more applicants. Yet. Stop the press. Some hybrids have been telling us that they're confused, even more so than we are. Ustream tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. The Ustream does occur on schedule, and we learn more than a few things from the discussion between the EMH guys and the live chat. They can't see the phantom tweets. They can't see the Morse code videos. They can't see the strange clips of Evan in the last video or any of the sudden pieces of footage spliced into any of their videos. And the Slenderman doll from earlier in the series was part of the joke they were running, a joke that has long since stopped being funny. The biggest takeaway, however, is what Jeff confides in us. He and Alex's parents are dead and have been for a while. However, he lets his brother still talk as if their parents are alive as a self-comforting behavior. Jeff and Alex have been alone in the house the entire time. Finally, when Vinny's phone in Alex's closet is mentioned, they shrug it off and say that the guys are over each other's houses so frequently, it's not a surprise. How did it end up in the closet, though? There are no ideas on how to explain that, even from Vinny. He just can't remember how he lost it. On November 28th, Twitter activity recommences, but it's not from the EMH side.
Behold my solo debut. The game's almost ready to commence. 231 rabbits lined up for the slaughter. Rabbits number 1 to 77, you are the Angora. Rabbits number 78 to 154, you are the English lump. Rabbits number 155 to 231, you are the Netherland dwarf. Your first trial will be sent to you soon. We'll start slow. I'm just that kind. With love.
Well then, good luck to everyone, I guess.
Let the games begin. Trial 1, Part 1. Send me a list of your 5 most beloved possessions, preferably those which can fit inside a brown paper bag. Wish you were here.
At last, we have a name for the capital letters user who's been breaking into the EMH account. Habit. They don't seem to need the Everyman Hybrid Twitter anymore. They're launching a solo debut. However, on the same day that Trial 1 Part 1 is issued, Habit comes back to the EMH account with more phantom tweets and a fight with another phantom user yet again.
Surprise, fools! Just dropping in for a moment to clear something up. You really think the big guy and Snoopy type these themselves? Nah, just me and the big guy, bumping shoulders, you know? Yanking chains, rubbing elbows.
Go play your little game, children. Nothing more to see here. And finally, EMH does notice this happening. Just got those texts on my phone. What the hell? On November 30th, Jeff posts a video of he and the guys in Evan's basement checking in on their followers called the Update Hub. He claims a lot of their viewers have been finding all sorts of media, documents, and other pieces of information that are apparently important to their situation. So, rather than have it spread out over the web, they'll be using this video's description box as a hub of information for links to anything and everything they can find. We've already gone over the information linked in the description by order of the timeline as the events occurred, but at the time, viewers did need something like the Update Hub to gather all the game pieces together. At the end of the video, it's noted that Evan just got his own computer. The same day, plenty of activity stirs on Habit's side of Twitter. A follower asks him, "So, Cap and Caps Lock, do those recent hijacked tweets imply that you're tweeting on the big guy's behalf then?"
As if that were the case.
This is important to note. Habit has always been the Caps Lock user on the Everyman Hybrid Twitter account. Due to the nature of the phantom Twitter fights and Habit's own admission of messing around with the big guy during these events, we can assume the ordinary tweets belong to this other entity, the big guy, who is typing on his own behalf. Immediately after responding to that user who provided us the note, Habit speaks to his rabbits en masse.
Less than 12 hours until Part 1 of the first trial is closed, 11 a.m. Eastern. Tick-tock. Less than 3 hours. Already, this was half of the first trial. The first fucking trial! It's noon. 214 messages received. 4 previously eliminated.
We really need to get you on to Dr. Phil. See if he can sort you out.
Yes, that's all we need. Another fucking doctor. Trial 1 Part 2 posted. Choose one of your beloved items. Bury it. Mark the grave. Leave it behind. Record yourself doing just that. Post the video, public or unlisted, on YouTube. Format listed in the email. Get crackin', rabbits. Love, always.
2 days later, a member of the Unfiction forums receives a corndoll letter in the mail dated December 26, 1976. There's also what seems to be a Christmas tree ornament inside. The doctor describes how much he loves his wife Marianne and their new adopted family. He and Marianne couldn't conceive, so they had decided to adopt, and when the mining town 4 had no home to go to, they took them in. Once again, the names Evan, Vinny, and Jeffrey are listed while the 4th child's name is redacted from the document. On December 4th, we receive a video from Alex titled The 7 Trials of Habit, Trial 1, Part 2 of 2, Rabbit number 231. Despite his brother's instructions, Alex entered the trials. He obeys Habit's demand and buries the shell of the first gun he ever fired when his father took he and Jeff shooting years ago.
Only 60 responses? Don't let technology hold you back. If you're too inept to make a video, send me 3 pictures. Before, during, after your item's funeral. Don't add to the body count, rabbits. Rabbit number 160 has been eliminated.
In the midst of Trial 1's second half, a new Everyman Hybrid video appears titled DAMSEL. Jeff has finally come around to regret his earlier decision to stick the police on Damsel from Can You See the Words, and together with Evan and Vinny, they rescue her from the hospital Jeff works at. It's only on the way back in the car that Damsel, now revealed to be named Stephanie, isn't ecstatic about this.
Well, I mean, you didn't belong in there.
No, not right now. Now really wasn't the good time.
Why? Well, we figured you'd be happy.
No, I'd be fucking stoked if they weren't releasing me today.
The next morning, Jeff lets us know the details of cleanup duty for their mission on Twitter. Anyone familiar with the phrase bombing the charts? There was no patient in room 141 last night, just a lot of error scripting. At work, the hospital, we're experiencing an annoying system crash recovery. Real pain in the ass. Unfortunate, you know? Stephanie's Twitter account becomes active as well after her long absence. Nonetheless, I appreciate the sentiment, the concern of it all. We're basically playing Slumber Party until we head into Princeton to get some of my stuff. My beloved friends at the police department are probably going to be watching my place. We'll wait. These guys are alright. A little lacking, but alright.
157 made it to the second round. If you claim you followed the rules, were cruelly judged, or otherwise are whining, email me.
Are you staying with one of the Everyman Hybrid boys now that you're out, or did they take you home? A perpetual state of slumber party. Gag. We picked some stuff up earlier this week, but I'm not risking going back there yet. Stephanie's next post is the song Silly Boy by the Blue Van. She writes, "Sums up the week so far, and you have to appreciate the Jeff's little brother Alex trying to help out and make coffee for everyone at breakfast this morning. God, it was awful, but a sweet idea nonetheless." Habit comes back to announce Trial 2 that night. He instructs the Rabbit groups to vote for 1 leader each and for 1 runt of the litter to be cast out of the trials. This is the first half of Trial 2. On the EMH side of Twitter, an interesting post by Jeff. Even if someone were to see the DAMSEL video, it seems that it couldn't criminalize us of anything at this point. The link leads to an audio file Jeff recorded detailing a surprising discovery. The morning after Stephanie's rescue, Jeff went into work at the hospital, noticed that one of the elevators had yellow caution tape across it. No big deal, as he knew certain parts of the building were undergoing maintenance. But while looking over some emails, Jeff learned that the annual Christmas party was cancelled. This made him a bit sad because he'd always enjoyed the party and its house band comprised of workers who called themselves the Free Drink Refills during these shows. Jeff notes that the band had Dr. Rossum on drums and Pat the janitor on keyboard. But this year, there'd be no show from the Free Drink Refills because there'd be no party. Instead, the hospital is running a donation drive to provide for Glenn and John's families in their departments. Over the weekend, 2 employees had died in a sudden explosion. In rooms 135 to 145 at Jeff's hospital, there is active pressurization for patients with tuberculosis or anything that requires similar care. During the weekend, a young woman was occupying one of the rooms and did not need the pressurization. So the housekeeper in that wing of rooms, John Maynor, was moving the tanks used for the process from the room into another, but ended up putting too many in one place. Meanwhile, a security guard, Glenn Eisen, was walking by on his rounds. One of the tanks burst and caused a flash fire, killing John and Glenn. Jeff's concern is that although this clearly must have happened, it couldn't have. It's not possible. He, Vinny, and Evan were in that wing on Sunday night. They rescued Stephanie from room 141 just after 6 p.m. The timestamp of 6 o'clock sharp is used at the beginning of the video, and Vinny says out loud she's in room 141. Not only did the flash fire that killed 2 workers occur at 5:55 p.m. that Sunday night, but when Jeff asked staff if there was a girl in one of the rooms from that wing, they mentioned a young woman who had been discharged earlier that week. This kind of information is impossible. First, if the fire had occurred at 5:55, then the guys would have run headfirst into it and Stephanie wouldn't be alive to rescue. And while we know Stephanie was in her room, the nurses told Jeff the young woman in the wing had been discharged earlier that week. She wasn't harmed by the accident because she was already gone. Finally, in the original footage from DAMSEL, the rescue video, Jeff suddenly darts around a corner and hides after they enter, as if just remembering something, and leaves Evan with the camera. After Vinny appears with Steph, a security guard walks down the hall and spots them. Jeff then attacks this security guard from his hidden spot. He must have remembered someone would be coming this way according to the shift rounds. But if the security guard for Sunday night was Glenn, who was killed by the flash fire, who is this man? If this is Glenn, he should be dead. Jeff is right to be concerned about what he's learned from hospital staff. It conflicts entirely with his reality. On December 17th, Habit receives all the votes for the elections and announces the winners after 3 a.m.
Rabbit number 224 has been elected as the representative of the Netherland Dwarfs. Rabbit number 98 has been elected as the representative of the English Lops. Rabbit number 46 has been elected as the representative of the Angoras. The 3 runs have been informed of their elimination. Await further instruction.
Stephanie gets back to answering her followers on Can You See the Words, and it seems she's doing better than ever. Check the background on this Tumblr. There's some suspicious writing there. Unless you wrote that, in which case, huh? The boy showed me that a few days ago. I have no idea how it happened, but hell, I'm keeping it. Let it be a warning, likewise, to whoever posted it. Rabbit number 98 here just got elected as leader of the English Lops. Good to see you've come back and in one piece. We've got the same disease, us rabbits. Curiosity. It's a good thing you aren't in the tournament, I suppose. One less monster to deal with, right? Thank you, thank you. Not quite though, considering that my current benefactors of sorts are all included. I may as well be, right? On December 23rd, Habit delivers the second half of Trial 2.
Of the 3 winners, vote 1 for Frontrunner and 1 for Glorified Runt. The winner shall be singled out as Frontrunner of the tournament. The loser shall be promptly eliminated. This year for Christmas, send a message to another team by killing off their leader. Rabbit number 98 has been chosen as Warren leader. Rabbit number 224 has been eliminated, but its legacy shall live on. A parting gift, so to speak. The fallen leader shall take a few rabbits with him. Details to follow. 15. The 15 have been eliminated with their fallen leader. This completes round 1. The following trials will not be number-based nonsense. They shall require physical output.
On January 3rd, Steph answers more questions from followers. What's your plan for when things calm down? Are you going to stay with the EMH guys? December was relatively simple. We were all paranoid badly, but the first few days after our little adventure were quiet. We've celebrated the new year with various forms of minor ailments. Jeff and I have had migraines. Alex and Vince seem to have a cold. Evan can't get over a cough. I swear, it's like we're going backwards comfort-wise. Have you ever heard of a Dr. James Corenthal? We spent a few hours looking over those papers and links people have been sending the gang since they found him. He seemed to want to help children who were being followed by out-of-the-ordinary entities. Pity that he had apparently died a few years ago. Sounds like he would have been endlessly helpful right about now, huh? A week later, Steph delivers us a video.
I'm here in Evan's cold as shit basement, by the way. I'm fucking freezing. But like, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm quitting my website because I don't really need it anymore, because as you can see and as you know, I've obviously found people that finally understand me and people that can protect me, so there's no one that I can really vent to about or anything. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that, and I'll still keep you guys updated if you want. I'll still like answer some questions, and I'll still like, I can still talk and like communicate and stuff, but as of now, oh no, well like shut up, but like I can still like, yeah, wrecking the Bandersnatch. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm quitting the website, but I'll still keep in touch. Yeah, I'll still keep in touch. But thank you all very much. You're ruining my like deep and inspirational, like heartfelt speech, like, you know.
Women don't have hearts.
Yeah, women don't have hearts. Okay. But thank you all very much for being so understanding, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.
So, Stephanie is finally among friends she can relate to, and as such will be leaving her Tumblr blog behind on most days. But activity picks up on other sites in regards to the EMH world. In the wake of Habit's trials, the 3 Rabbit groups form their own chat rooms, which we quickly find out the EMH guys are involved in. Obligatory Habits and Gore chat confirmation. This doesn't seem to have any noticeable effect on Habit's operations. He continues with the trials on January 13th.
Trial 3 has been issued. Lose a friend by any means necessary. Email your submission links to me when you want to be overlooked. Piss and moan, you complain as if this is a game for your enjoyment. Get over yourself.
The same day Habit delivers his instructions, the EMH crew uploads a new video showing Stephanie has become a pretty solid fixture in their group. They go to restaurants, play games together, and even take her phone when she leaves it laying around to pull a prank.
I'm gonna mess with the phone a little bit, and I'm thinking that we should change your voicemail, and let's see what's going on.
Change your voicemail.
Change your voicemail.
Oh, it's the phone.
Oh, is there a save?
Save message. Let's listen to this.
Please, you know this is going to be good.
Steph, that thing you were talking about. I saw it. He's real. He's real. You're right. You're sorry. What the hell does he want? I think he's following me.
Holy shit.
Steph, please pick up. Please pick up. Oh, God. Oh, no.
Oh shit.
Alright, this is a little strange, a little formal, but I wanted to ask you, you know, simple question.
The masses demand answers.
Well, and
Yeah, we need them.
we demand answers. We broke you out.
Oh, whoa, hold on, Jeff.
Not only, you know, because you didn't belong there, but also because we think that you can help us. You seem to know more about this. One thing I want to ask you is, how do we stop him?
I highly doubt that there's any way to stop him. I mean, you guys have tried to stop him more than I've tried to stop him. Like, I'm just a victim. I'm sorry, I just don't think that there's any way to stop him. I don't think he has a weakness.
Oh, yeah, I mean, we've tried everything short of a rocket launcher.
Maybe a bigger car?
Maybe a bigger car. Maybe a bigger car with knives attached to the front and baseball bats swinging from
And
the
my
top.
brother doing a handstand.
That'll work.
But most of everything that you know is already out there.
And now we have full confirmation. Slender Man has been Steph's personal demon. Both she and the EMH guys have been dealing with his presence for a while, and we know through her last voicemail that Slender Man is the reason behind Jessa's disappearance. In the description, we can see Jeff writes, "We also later confronted Stephanie about the saved message on her phone. She was going to tell us. I can understand why she was afraid to mention it. In my eyes, it's simply closure. Happy New Year, whatever that means. Hell, we're still breathing and mostly smiling." Besides the saved message, there was another incident worth mentioning by the crew. A blocked number called Vinny's phone and said something about keeping Mittens warm. Mittens was Vinny's cat who had been buried for 6 years. Outside, the crew found fresh blood on the snow above Mittens' grave.
This.
Man's
6 years. Mitten's been dead for 6 years. There is no blood.
That's blood. It's been here for a while.
Not 6 years a while. Let's get out of here right now.
Come on, Jeff. Fuck around.
The guys are also willing to acknowledge the experience to viewers now. And no, Evan did not charge this time. However, we all spent that weekend with flu-like symptoms. The end of the video shows mainly Evan telling Vinny and Jeff that they just need to stop asking Stephanie about the issue now. She doesn't know anything either because her only method of survival has been ignoring the monster. Habit announces the results of the latest vote on January 20th.
76 rabbits remain in trials. Await further instruction.
Later that day, the EMH guys upload 77 of 76.avi, the second corrupted file from the USB drive Jeff left in his room before investigating Jessa's disappearance. In the description, Jeff claims this video wouldn't play right until recently when a viewer reminded the guys to see if they could make it work. Now, for whatever reason, it's working. Jeff, Evan, and Alex are outside in the field with a single big tree from A Day in the Life. It's winter and the three of them walk in silence to the tree until Jeff mentions hearing sirens, which can be heard in the distance. They sit beneath the tree, Alex resting on a plastic helmet he was just wearing, and Evan expresses how nothing they do seems to be working. They're just going around in circles with no progress made. As the video plays, we see cuts from A Day in the Life, but looking at Jeff's shirt as he stands beneath the tree in warm weather, it's not clear if this is the version of that video we saw from this series or the other version where Jeff and Jessa wear different clothes. In the beginning, we can see the clip of Vinny bounding ahead of Evan, but in watching the footage of the group stopping under the tree from the original video, we see the footage stops before anything resembling this shot of Jeff comes up. If this is from the version of A Day in the Life that was uploaded, we haven't seen this clip. This brings up another issue that doesn't seem to be answered. Where did the USB containing this footage come from? If it's always belonged to Jeff, then it requires no explanation. It would mean he had it and suddenly discovered 2 corrupted video files he didn't copy onto the drive around the time Jess had disappeared. Otherwise, it most likely came in the envelope that was inside his copy of House of Leaves. We know Evan's no stranger to receiving anonymous USB drop-offs in the mail from his intro in the video titled Alex. The method of how Jeff came to own the USB drive doesn't matter though. The content he can't explain does. Habit resumes orders on January 24th.
Trial 4 released. Recite Habit's little poem in a public place and document it. Remind them who made you do it. Deadline, Monday, January 31st, noon Eastern. Regards.
The little poem was sent to all active rabbits for completion of the trial and goes as follows. Little rabbits feed our habits. We are millions, fierce and strong. The bloodthirsty rage within us urges that we move on.
Do not fight the forever flood of paranoia, hate, and fear, because I will be with you all. I'll always be right here.
We'll take the rabbits together, and together we'll eat them alive. We'll fill our hearts with the joy of slaughter, the joy of their tortured cries.
And as they lay face down in the dirt, you will see that these rabbits were friends, the ones you loved, the ones who loved you, who cried your name to the bitter end.
And then you'll try your very damnedest. You'll try to separate us, until you realize that us is me, and with me there is no us. So you millions scared and weak, prepare for some devastation.
Some blood-soaked hands, some broken bones, and mass body counts across your nations, because I am the monster in your head.
The beast that hides beneath your bed.
The axe-wielding man crossing your streets.
The bloody hands that tear the meat.
Try to stop me if you can, but you'll break the habits of man. Habit made me do it. On the Everyman Hybrid side of Twitter, an odd post by Jeff. God damn it. 2 days later, we can see what upset him in the new upload. The crew has been sent a CD containing one long run of the hidden Morse code videos by a viewer in the hopes they can see these for themselves. Steph is also in the room and they're sitting around in a semicircle like children to watch a laptop screen.
As we discussed, here are the elusive Morse code videos. I hope they play back properly for you and that you can see them. Other than that, I just want to wish you guys good luck with everything you've been up to. This is Benjamin Wilson, aka Coffee Collie. Here's the footage.
I mean, it's not like we did anything wrong. We were just playing a game.
We used to do it all the time in the home, Doctor. I mean, every weekend we played these games.
We just wanted to find the hidden treasure.
I'm sorry that you and Miss Marianne had to drive this far, but we were trying to get back on our own. He got us there in an instant. I don't know why it took us so long to get home.
It's not like we unlocked the door or broke the door or anything. We didn't even use them.
We were just playing pretend. I don't know what happened.
What the f... Still recording? Oh, shit. Jeff. Hey.
Evan manages to stir the whole group and they all find they're bleeding from the nose and ears. They can't remember any of the last few minutes, but other than the amnesia and blood, they're alright. Jeff gives his take of the event in the video description. After trying to figure out what exactly happened, we decided that the camera fell off its surface, hit the ground, and recorded a black screen for 8 minutes. In the meanwhile, we were influenced by something and received various wounds. We don't remember speaking these bits of discussion or know what the conversation was from. The word doctor stood out. I'll upload the file on our MediaFire account. See if it works for you. Look for the link on Twitter. Checking out the link reveals the video run to be completely normal. It's just the Morse code videos. As for what happened in the room once the video began to play, each member of the group began speaking in turn, saying things that seemed to be from the same conversation but with someone who wasn't there about an event that can't be placed. And of course, we can't forget about the major shadow that fell over them during this. On January 31st, Habit updates us on the results of his latest trial.
Those who have passed Trial 4 have been notified. If you have not yet received an email, you have been eliminated. This concludes Round 2. The winner of this round will be chosen and notified later this week. Regards. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. 48 rabbits remain.
The next action comes from the Hybrid crew uploading footage titled Last Week / Taking It Back. The guys have suited up to take back Alex's room from the literal monster in his closet. Jeff's first note on entering is that it smells horrible inside Alex's room. Evan asks how big the crawl space inside the closet is, and Jeff answers that it's 3 feet by 3 feet. It's like a box. And Evan adds that the last time he looked inside, he didn't see anything. There's still nothing to be seen, so they go inside and find that, somehow, the crawl space keeps going. The walls are sticky and the smell is horrible. Evan says he sees a light at the end. Jeff remarks that he's just lost the bat he was carrying, and Evan suddenly finds he no longer has his knife or any of his stuff. Their voices begin to echo, and within a moment, they're in the basement of another house. All of their stuff is gone, and Evan can't even find the hole they just crawled out of. Evan finds a door though, and when they step out, they're in the park from A Day in the Life. When Jeff follows Evan and Alex upstairs, he turns back around to look at the doorway, and the clip from the Morse code videos of he and Evan breaking down the door plays over the spot, almost matching the exact camera angle. None of the guys know how they got here, but agree to call Vinny for a ride. And as Jeff steps back to catch Alex and Evan in the frame, another shock hits. They're wearing exactly the same clothes as in 77 of 76.avi. Alex is even wearing the same plastic helmet. The video cuts to a new sequence. 2 days later, Evan has come over while Alex is at school to help Jeff investigate the closet again. He expresses that a few days have passed since the first attempt. He's cut his hair, gotten his knife back, and oh yeah, about that knife.
Yeah, actually, I found this on my bed in its sheath, perfectly there, like I never fucking touched it.
Lost it 2 days ago, got it back.
Yeah, so either whatever this thing is able to teleport or some shit, or we got somebody else doing something. I don't know.
Alex's room no longer smells bad, and on the floor, Jeff finds a note of sorts. 1/4 of a piece of paper with fragments of words on it. He crumples it up, hides it in his pocket, then hears Evan says there's nothing in the closet. There is no crawl space. No tunnel, nothing. Just a wall.
There's literally nothing. There's just a wall now. No crawl space, no nothing, no tunnel. What the f... Nothing.
I don't know, man.
Huh. Well, I figure smell's gone.
Hole's gone.
Hole's gone. Somebody up there. Access.
Yeah.
Looking over the footage, I guess we know why Alex was wearing his ridiculous helmet in that 77 of 76.avi clip. We still don't know where that tree footage came from on 77, but we know the when of it at least. Or something like that. Christ. Thank you, hybrids. Things go quiet for a while and somehow stay quiet. The only activity comes from outside of the usual accounts and channels when Rabbit number 98, the newly elected Warren leader of the 7 trials, receives a package marked with purple duct tape. Inside is a Korenthal document from February 27th, 1975, and on the bottom of the second page, a question. How many lives have you led and spent? In the right corner, a marking. 4 out of 7. This box is Rabbit number 98's prize from Habit for winning the election, and it has the same markings and signatures as all previous boxes discovered through coordinates and the one sent to Stephanie. Habit has been the one making these packages marked with purple duct tape. He's been sending out coordinates, hiding the boxes and the gym bag, sending old documents to viewers. He sent the postcard to Jeff that led him on the hunt for Jessa. Habit was the one who laid out the Korenthal documents that sent Jeff to the old woman's apartment down south. Habit defaced Jeff's backroom and burnt the pictures from A Day in the Life. And Habit wants us to know that he's closer than we realize. Besides the Korenthal document, Rabbit 98's box contained one of Alex's hats, as seen in the video Alex recorded when he found an EMH business card in his closet at the end of a paper trail. Also inside the box was a quarter of the same piece of paper Jeff found in Alex's room with Evan. Together they say, Shade's password to the, with the last half still missing. The Corenthal document came inside a wooden box kept together with purple duct tape that had burn marks and carvings on the sides. 4 lines on one side and the word habit on the other, making it further clear who sent the package. The writing takes place over a year before the previous one describing Dr. Corenthal's beautiful family of 4 adopted children, the mining town 4, and begins as follows. Every so often, as expected, the children seem to suffer a group relapse, so to speak. Occasionally, a single one may seem to experience mood swings and other emotional inadequacies, but those are generally normal at such an age. It just pains Marianne and myself so when they all go through relapses. It's never an individual occurrence, these episodes. It's never Evan acting out alone. It's never Jeffrey shouting nonsense or Vinny spouting biblical verses. No, when it does occur, it's always each and every one of them. After the episode is finished, each of the children become very reclusive, with Stephanie perhaps being the most affected. At last, we have the 4th name, Stephanie. This makes the Everyman Hybrid guys and their new friend, formerly known as Damsel, a perfect match to the mining town 4 by name. The doctor goes on in his writing to say the aftermath of these group relapses the children experience involves not eating, locking themselves in their rooms for hours, and staring into space. The most recent instance the doctor can recall was the day before his writing, which prompted this journal entry. Marianne called him to say the children were missing. They'd been writing and acting out a play about pirates, and when she went to check on them, they were gone. Thinking they might have gone into town, she investigated the stores and found no one had seen them. That night, with police officers walking around the house beginning to organize a search effort, Jeffrey called home, and it turned out the kids were in Pennsylvania. He handed the phone to a police officer, Officer Matten of the local department, who gave instructions on where they were and said the kids were safe. Dr. Corenthal and Marianne drove to the meeting place, a tavern in Memorytown, Pennsylvania that Officer Matten felt was more accommodating than the police station. After arriving and getting something to eat to settle their nerves, the children began to open up about what happened. Gradually, bits of conversation came from our children. We used to do it all the time in the home, Doctor. I mean, every weekend we played these games. He got us there in an instant. I don't know why it took us so long to get home. We just wanted to find the hidden treasure. What frightened me the most was the honesty exhibited in their pleading explanations. If they weren't lying, there was something terribly wrong. If they were honest, which I believe they always are, then I don't know how they easily travel this far. Or something is terribly wrong. My children were taken from my home, transported over 300 miles eastward, all in search of a whimsical treasure and all under the guidance of this figure. Yes, something is terribly wrong indeed. Do you recognize those lines the children said? We used to do it all the time in the home, Doctor. I mean, every weekend we played these games. He got us there in an instant. I don't know why it took us so long to get home. We just wanted to find the hidden treasure. These are the same lines said by the group in their trance when they tried to view the hidden videos. The group relapse Dr. Corenthal spoke about in the beginning of the letter is the same kind of event the crew experiences here.
It's not like we did anything wrong. We were just playing a game.
We used to do it all the time in the home, Doctor. I mean, every weekend we played these games.
We just wanted to find the hidden treasure.
I'm sorry that you and Miss Marianne had to drive this far, but we were trying to get back on our own. He got us there in an instant. I don't know why it took us so long to get home.
It's not like we unlocked the door or broke the door or anything. We didn't even use them.
We were just playing pretend. I don't know what happened.
In some impossible, inconceivable way, the 4 characters we see here are the same children adopted by Dr. James Corenthal in the 1970s who seem to have died in 1981. On Twitter, Habit seems to acknowledge that number 98 has received his prize.
Drip, drop, slice and chop, chase the rabbit, hop, hop, hop. Run away, I don't care. I will find you anywhere.
Word seems to have spread to the hybrid crew about the revelations in Rabbit number 98's prize. The next video arrives on February 24th titled Rose.
How's it going, hybrids? It's Vin. This is kind of hard to say, but I think that we should say it just to document it so you guys know. We were going to go question Jesse about Dr. Corenthal, and we decided to hold off a bit just because we found out and this is with a heavy heart that I tell you this, that her grandmother was murdered recently. And, right?
The fuck are you doing?
They should know, Evan.
They should know jack shit. We're not fucking talking about this on the fucking camera. Are you
Vinny leaves a link in the video description to the newspaper article about Jesse's grandmother, Rose. Her and her husband's last name have been removed, but the information is still clear. Rose's body was discovered Tuesday morning by an assisted living nurse checking in for the morning. No foul play on the nurse's part is suspected. Local animal control has been on high alert since the discovery. Jim Thorpe police had originally locked down several city blocks following the report, however, had since claimed that this was not the work of a human attacker. 9 p.m. citywide curfew has been issued until further notice. Rose was known for her work with foster children and at-risk youth. Jim Thorpe Mayor Mike Sofranco had commented that her death is a direct blow to our community. The contributions of Rose and her late husband William will be remembered for generations to come. Inquiries concerning her family's history catching up with her were met with harsh feedback at the conference held yesterday evening. Things go quiet on the Everyman Hybrid front out of respect for Jessie and her loss. Meanwhile, Habit concludes his business with Trial 4 and completes the second round.
Rabbit number 52 has been designated the winner of Round 2, Trial 4, and assumes the label Warren Jester. Congratulations, Rabbit number 52. You've been chosen as the winner of Round 4. You may assume the title of Warren Jester. Your ability to screw with the boundaries of the written guidelines is heartwarming. I will see to it that it is justly rewarded. But don't do it again. Respond with your mailing address for your prize. Don't die.
And I'm afraid that's all the time we have for tonight, my friends. This has certainly been a very revealing look into Everyman Hybrid. Documents, portals, a tournament for an unknown prize with unknown punishments for failure. It seems the more answers we dig up, the more questions come attached. Habit is the one behind all the packages, but who or what is Habit? There's a serious connection between Dr. Kornthal's adopted children and our 4 main characters, but how and why? And now, not only are Jessa and Ryan both gone, but the crew's friend Jessie has just lost her grandmother under shocking circumstances. Local animal control on high alert, not the work of a human attacker. Does this sound familiar to you? Stay close, rabbits. The trials will continue in Everyman Hybrid Explained Part 3. We've got a lot more of our beloved Habit's word to spread to the people, and in return, I hear he has some valuable information for us. Let it be known that this game is far from over. No, it's only just started. If you've enjoyed part 2 of Everyman Hybrid Explained, you can let me know by clicking the like button. Make sure you catch the next installment as soon as it airs by hitting the subscribe button as well. You can also comment if you'd like to share your thoughts on EMH or this current series with the Nightmind community. Your feedback and support is and always will be extremely appreciated. I'm also on Twitter and Tumblr for those who'd like to catch the latest news as it comes down. Thanks for joining me in the dark again this evening. Once more, I'm Nick Nocturne, and just like a bad habit, I'll be seeing you again real soon. Sleep tight.